Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome over to Electric Bilodeau for this week. A little bit later than normal, but with good reason. Like we've been talking about for months, there's a huge soccer match coming to Columbia this weekend as Manchester United takes on Liverpool over at Williams-Brice Stadium. I got the chance to sit down with Jonny Evans, a defenseman from Manchester United, talked about their trip to America. They've already been playing this week in LA and San Diego, Columbia, their last stop before they go home, what they hope to accomplish with this trip to America, and a whole bunch more. So here is Jonny Evans. All right, Jonny Evans from Manchester United joining us this afternoon and getting ready for a huge matchup over at Williams-Brice Stadium coming up on Sunday between Manchester United and Liverpool. Jonny, thanks so much for taking a few minutes.
Thank you, no problem.
Well, I know you guys have been playing in the United States for a little over a week now, games out in San Diego and LA. What's it been like for you guys to be in the States playing the game?
Coming to the States is always a great place to come, first of all, because obviously the culture here, and there's so many things that are iconic about coming to the US. It's great. The weather's great. The standard of football and the games that we're playing is always a real challenge for us. So, we love coming here, and I've been here a few times in the past on tour with Manchester United, so it's nice to come back.
What's your favorite part of visiting America?
I think that, obviously we're always in quite incredible cities. I think that's one of the nicest thing about it. Everywhere you go, you're always staying in sort of quite recognizable places. There's always something that you sort of you feel like you know something about. Especially being at the moment we're in LA. So before we traveled to South Carolina for the match. So it's a very nice place to be.
So that was my next question was, when this schedule comes out, like I said, you guys are in San Diego and LA and then coming to South Carolina. How many guys on the team knew where South Carolina was when you guys saw the schedule come out?
Oh, probably not many, to be honest. But I think we all, from myself, I had a sort of a rough idea, because, like I say, I've been to the US a few times in the past, and especially with United. I think the first time I came to the US for United was maybe about 12, 13 years ago. So I think it's possibly my third or fourth time coming to the States with this club. So it's always been an interesting place, and I've been around quite a few places and got the experience, quite a lot of the States.
When I was talking to the organizers of this match who brought the game to Columbia, they were talking about they wanted to kind of have an SEC feel, the big college football feel what they usually do in the stadium. How much do you guys know about college football in the States and about the SEC in general? Do you know anything?
A little bit. I've seen a few Netflix documentaries and Amazon documentaries. I suppose I think played at one college stadium in the past, maybe two, and I think it was 2015, 14, 15. We played in Michigan at the college stadium there, and that was incredible. We played there a match against Real Madrid at the college stadium. It was over 100,000 people which attended that match, so that was quite a memorable thing. And obviously we know that the college teams get huge crowds, and the facilities that they have are sometimes something better than some professional teams in England.
The Netflix documentaries are like the great equalizer, because that's how I learned all about F1 over here.
Yeah, it's something similar, and for us, obviously that's probably a big way for us to get to sort of understand how it works, and the college football is obviously huge in America.
Is it important for the players to want to help grow this sport in America? Because it's made so many leaps and bounds in the last few years, but there's still a long way to go. Is that something that matters to you guys when you make these trips?
Yeah, but we know we've always got a responsibility to try and grow the sport. I think each individual would admit, the sport has given us, so much. From obviously we've got a love of the game, which we've grown up with, but the opportunities that it's given us, and I think every player would feel that. I think anyone playing at sport at such a high level would always sort of feel that want to give back. And we feel coming out here, I've noticed a big difference since coming out here, since the last maybe the first year we came to the US, and sort of we're a lot more recognizable now. And I think maybe with the advancements in social media and the media coverage has allowed that to happen. So we've got a responsibility to grow the game, and coming to the US and to be able to do that is it's a great opportunity for us, and it's a real honor as well.
when you guys play these friendlies, how do you kind of balance the dichotomy of, making sure the fans get a good show and see a good game, as opposed to, maybe not getting hurt and putting yourselves behind the 8 ball for when the season starts?
Well, like we know, like I think in these games, as much as you want to win, we know football can be, it can be very tactical at times, but we know in pre-season also, fans want to be entertained and they love seeing a bit of skill and a good goal, and they want to see high-scoring matches, and that's what we want to try and give them. As players, we want that too. We want to go out and be able to go out and express ourselves, and I think the pre-season games are a big opportunity for us to do that. We've got a little bit of freedom. It's probably the only time in the season where you get that little bit of freedom to go and try things and get yourself ready for the season. That's going to be coming up very quickly for us.
Describe what it's like for fans who don't know much about the sport. What's it like to be a part of Manchester United? And what does that mean to you? I know you've been back and forth with this team a couple times, but to be part of this organization, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's such a worldwide organization. I grew up, huge supporter of Manchester United. So, football, soccer was my sport growing up. So for me, it's always been a dream come true, and I always feel a massive privilege to be able to represent this club. And like I say, it's an organization that stretches worldwide, and we get to see that and experience that. Every continent we've been to. I've been on many tours in the past, and get to experience how worldwide the club is. It's quite phenomenal.
How would you describe the rivalry with Liverpool to someone who doesn't know much about Premier League sport?
Now, well, football can be quite a tribal thing, and especially in England, Manchester United and Liverpool is probably the biggest game of the season. There's no doubt about that. I think with the history of the two clubs and the proximity between the two cities has always created a bit of a rivalry there that's stretched into the soccer teams. So for us, Liverpool is it's one of the first fixtures you look at coming out in the season, and it's going to be it'll be a good game. It'll be a very competitive game. There's no doubt about that. Even though it's a friendly match, there'll be an opportunity for both teams to really stamp themselves on the opposition before the season starts.
And I know you just signed a 1-year extension just last month. Are you planning for this to be your last year, or do you want to keep playing past that? Do you want to break any news in South Carolina while I have you on here?
No, I only signed a few weeks ago, so I'm still pretty early in that contract, and I think for me the object is just to sort of take it as it comes. I've got like I said, 1 more year, bit of an extension from last year, which I wasn't quite sure if it was going to happen or not. So I'm getting quite a bit older now in the sporting terms, but I'm going to enjoy this season, and I'll see where I am at the end.
All right, like we said, the big match coming up Saturday, Williams-Brice Stadium, Manchester United and Liverpool. Jonny, thanks so much for taking a few minutes with us tonight.
Thank you, Kevin.
Awesome. Jonny, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Have a good trip out.
Will do.
All right, big thanks to Jonny Evans for taking a few minutes with us. Like you said, that matchup coming up, Williams-Brice Stadium on Saturday night when Manchester United taking on Liverpool. We are going to be live from outside Williams-Brice Stadium at 6 and 11 o'clock coming up on Saturday. Now, coming up on Friday, the Friday Night Lights tailgate making its way back. Hard to believe, but high school football is back tomorrow. That's when South Carolina High School League, yeah, it's true. The newsroom can't believe it. But that is when high school league teams can start practice on Friday. We are going to be all over the low country. We'll have updates coming up here on the tailgate tomorrow afternoon, plus a look back on everything else that's happened this week here in the low country. That is going to do it, though, for Electric Bilodeau. Everyone have a great weekend.